Good morning, children, and welcome to my new class. So, today we are going to start Gogol's first day. This is the third chapter from our book Gulmohar. Right. Now, let us read on and see what this chapter is about. Now, as you can see the title Gogol's first day. So, it is something to do with Gogol, the character who goes somewhere for the first time. An extract from the Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri. Now, let me tell you who Jhumpa Lahiri is. Jhumpa Lahiri is an Indian American author. Her first short story collection, Interpreter of Maladies, that was published in the year 1999, won the 2000 Pulitzer Prize for Fiction. This is a renowned award. She is known for writing about the experiences and problems faced by Indian immigrants. Now, who are immigrants? Immigrants are the people who travel from one country to another country. So, when they go to the new country, there they are the immigrants. It means that they have come from some other place. So, there are a lot of problems that are faced by them. So, this is one small incident. Let us read it on. Gogol Ganguly is a young Bengali boy who lives in America. He is about to start going to school for the first time. His parents, Ashok and Ashima, tell him that he will be called Nikhil when he is in school. Gogol has never been called Nikhil before, and he cannot understand why his parents have made this decision. So now let us see. Gogol doesn't want a new name. He can't understand why he has to answer to anything else. Why do I have to have a new name? Now he's quite confused why he's being asked to have a new name. He asks his parents, tears springing to his eyes. It means he's literally crying. It would be one thing if his parents were to call him Nikhil. Two, but they tell him that the new name will be used only by the teachers and children at school. He is afraid to be Nikhil. Now, he is a very small boy and he's going to go to the school for the first day. He must have been very small. So, when suddenly his parents say that there you will be called Nikhil. So, for him, it is very sad because he thinks that by calling him Nikhil, they'll be changing him entirely. Someone he doesn't know and who doesn't know him. It means that he doesn't know who is Nikhil. His parents tell him that they have each have two names too, as do all their Bengali friends in America and all their relatives in Calcutta. It's a part of growing up, they tell him. So they try to tell him that everybody has two names. One is the pet name or the short name which we call out for each other at home, and one is our official name. Now, part of being Bengali, they write it for him on a sheet of paper. Ask him to copy it over 10 times. Don't worry, his father says. To me and your mother, you will never be anyone but Gogol. So they try to convince him that for us, you will be Gogol only. It is only for the school that we have changed your name. At school, Ashok and Gogol are greeted by the secretary, Mrs. McNabb, who asks Ashok to fill out a registration form. He provides a copy of Gogol's birth certificate and immunization record, which Mrs. McNabb puts in a folder along with the registration. This way, Mrs. McNabb says, leading them to the principal's office. Now they are going through the formalities of, the documentation part. The name on the door says Candace Lapidus. Now, Mrs. Lapidus is a tall, slender woman with short white blonde hair. She looks at the registration form and smiles kindly at the boy, who is clutching his father's hand. Now, who is the young boy? It is Gogol. So, I hope it is clear till here. Welcome to elementary school, Nikhil. I am your principal, Mrs. Lapidus. Gogol looks down at his sneakers. The way the principal pronounces his new name is different from the way his parents say it. The second part of it is longer, sounding like heel. Now, what happens is normally the American accent that takes is that they cannot pronounce the Indian names. So probably instead of saying Nikhil, how we speak it out, the principal must have said Nikhil. So this is quite strange for the young boy. She bends down so that her face is level with his and puts her hand on his shoulder. Can you tell me how old are you, Nikhil? When the question is repeated and there is still no response, Mrs. Lapidus asks, Mr. Ganguly, does Nikhil follow English? Now, the principal is little confused. She thinks that the small boy is not able to understand English. Of course, he does, Ashok says. My son is perfectly bilingual. Bilingual means he can speak both the languages. One is the mother tongue, that is Bengali, and the other one is English. In order to prove that Gogol knows English, Ashok does something he has never done before. What does he do? He addresses his son in a careful, accented English. Go on, Gogol, he says. Tell Mrs. Lapidus how old are you? Now, he tries to speak to his son. What was that Mrs. Lapidus says? That name you called him something with a G. Now, the principal is confused. She says, why are you calling him with that some other name which starts with G? Oh, that what we call him at home only, but his good name should be is, he nods his head firmly, Nikhil. So he says that his actual name is Nikhil. Mrs. Lapidus frowns. Frowns means she, like, in a way, smiles. I'm afraid I don't understand good name. Now the principal is again confused. What do you mean by a good name? Good name, does it mean that the name which you are using officially outside? So she's confused and he says, yes. I hope this is clear to you. From the 13th paragraph, we'll be starting in my next class. So meanwhile, I want you all to just go through it and read it properly. So have a nice day and keep learning.